Hello from University of Phoenix Stadium, Rich Gray and Bob Kemp, and no Ed Cole. He's nowhere to be found. He's actually busy. He's calling the big high school football game we talked about in yesterday's.
The one that even I know about, yes. Centennial and Saguaro.
That is correct. So hopefully Ed doesn't get rained out, because apparently there's massive storms going around or whatever.
Speaking of that, today on the field during practice, I was wondering if I was going to have to run for cover, and the roof was closed. I mean, it was pounded on that roof. Arians was talking about bringing in crowd noise this morning. Hey, they had it.
There you go.
Yeah. So
I noticed as they were walking off the field, Steve Keim and Bruce Arians kept looking up.
Everybody was looking up for about a 10-minute stretch. It was pounded on there. It was like you were about 5 feet, it's right above you, like you had a low ceiling in a small home instead of a big stadium and a big ceiling.
It reminded me of the indoor practices up at NAU back in the day, whenever it would rain.
I remember a couple outdoor practices running to the indoor practices. That's as close as I've come to running in many, many years. Yes.
Anyway,
I don't miss that part up there.
Enough of the weather report for today. Out at Cardinals camp, of course, the big story, Sean Weatherspoon, Chris Johnson, Gerard Powers. They took part in the run test, but we really won't know anything till tomorrow.
Yeah, they hope that they passed. That was the thought process this morning from Arians. And if they did, they would possibly practice tomorrow and play on Sunday at Oakland.
What are some other things that you noticed in practice this afternoon?
Well, this is the first practice. This was practice 17, and this is the first one where there were no first units against first units. So it was all first unit and second unit against scout team guys. It's kind of hard to get a lot of things out of this. However, Earl Watford was back, but he did not run with the ones, as we were told that would happen on Monday. Then he missed Monday and Wednesday's practice. He ran with the twos, and Sal was still with the ones today. Also, just kind of a continuation from yesterday, they ran a lot of four-man line, and I'm just guessing that that's for maybe the New Orleans game. But they're running three tackles, and the three tackles are once again as they were yesterday. Morrow. I always get that wrong. Morrow, Campbell, and Rucker, and Okafor was the end. Actually, it's kind of configured how Campbell's, I think, an end in this, and they have two tackles, and then they have the two linebackers and five defensive backs, and those are the same guys that we saw yesterday. And Buchanan, in essence, is a linebacker, so there's really six defensive backs. We saw that, and then when they ran 5-2, a lot more of Lamar Woodley this week. And we started seeing a little bit of that last week, and I'm starting to think that Lorenzo Alexander is definitely on the bubble here. He played a little scout team yesterday, which isn't a good thing. He played a little inside linebacker today, which is maybe kind of a desperation thing. So, he's still solid at special teams, it appears, but so I don't think he's a lock to make the roster at this point. And he wasn't included when they went at 5-2 or at 3-4, I guess is technically the term. But when they had five guys in the front, let's put it that way, he wasn't included in that for a second straight day. And a couple other guys running the scout team for a second straight week are guys that we've kind of projected to be on the bubble here for a while. That'd be Marion Grice and also Alameda Teamu. And he seems to be highly unlikely to make it, even after the Corey Peters injury. And along the nose tackle front, which is what Teamu is, Rodney Gunter's running with the ones when they're using a nose tackle. And Xavier Williams, the undrafted free agent from Northern Iowa, is running with the twos. And there was a kind of a scary play today when Andre Ellington avoided contact on a running play, which wasn't supposed to be any contact, at least for the running back, when basically Xavier Williams, threw A.Q. Shipley about 5 feet into the backfield. And Ellington had to skip out of the way of that. So, but Shipley's still the starting center for however long that lasts.
That's what I was going to say. Lyle Sendline pretty much around the corner here soon.
Well, I'm surprised it hasn't already happened, especially this dress rehearsal week. Yeah. So I kind of even thought maybe yesterday it would happen, but I'm guessing that play probably doesn't help any. But but he hasn't played. It seems like he's kind of held his own in the 2 games thus far. Shipley has, so maybe that's why. But I think most people anticipate that Senline will be the starting center.
So camp will wrap up tomorrow morning. Practice is at 9:30. It'll open up to the public. Any kind of final notes from today's practice and maybe what we might see in tomorrow's practice, final practice at camp?
I'm looking. I think we covered everything for today. Yeah, I think we're good there. As far as tomorrow, I'm guessing it's going to be like the last 2 Fridays before a game, in which, actually it was Thursday the last 2 weeks. I feel like sound like Todd Graham. I don't know what day it is, but today's our Thursday.
Right.
But the last practice before the game, there's a lot of special team stuff, and pretty much I'm sure there'll be a couple more scout things. Usually some goal line and 2-minute drill, and I'm also anticipating that it doesn't last very long.
Yeah, I can pretty much agree with that last part.
They're done by 11.
So again, we'll be out at the Nest Sports Bar and Grill on 95th Avenue in Camelback from 11 to 3. So come out to the morning practice, swing by the Nest Sports Bar and Grill afterwards, hang out for the show, and that'll pretty much wrap up camp for the Cardinals.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank everybody who came out. We had tons of people come out. I had somebody who I allegedly knew in the 70s in Tucson come out, and among others. So thanks for everybody who came out, and it was a tremendous turnout throughout camp, and hopefully we'll be doing some other things at the Nest in the near future.
Yeah, that is the hope. So we'll see. We'll let you know as soon as.
Stay tuned.
Yes, exactly. Stay tuned. So for Bob Kemp, I'm Rich Gray. Thanks for tuning in for all our Cards Camp coverage on NBC Sports Radio AM 1060. Ed's nope. He might be over there if you want to go try and find him. I don't think he's here. All right. Have a good one. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you tomorrow.